about to have the vacation of a lifetime. And now, it's story time.
Let's have another joint.
Paula and Esme decided to take a break from the rest of their family on their vacation, so they wandered around the park until they stumbled upon the opening to a cave. Whoa, we have to go inside, Paula said. Esme's bright red braces glistened as she tried to hide her fear. Is it safe? Caves are literally just rock. We'll be fine. Before Esme could object, Paula dashed through the entrance. Marco! Polo! Paula did that a lot, but Esme was used to it. Armed with nothing more than their cell phones, they made their way into the cave. It was incredibly spacious inside. Every step they took echoed around them. Esme shone her phone up at the roof and snapped photos of the beautiful hanging stalactites. The usually chatty sisters were in silent awe of how gorgeous this place was. They had reached the other side of the entrance, where the path continued through a narrow passageway. Paula, in her usual scurry, hastily slinked her way inside. Hey, wait up! Where are you? Marco! Polo. With the cave entrance far behind them, they had nothing to guide them but the light of their phones. As they scanned the walls of the cave, their light fell upon a section of paintings. Wow, how old do you think these are? At least 10,000 years. Aren't you glad you didn't chicken out? Come on, let me take a picture. Esme held her hand up and posed next to the paintings. As she walked away, her hand accidentally brushed the wall. A bit of red pigment now stained her finger. They both looked back at the wall. Maybe these aren't that old. They heard a loud clunk echo around them. Esme scoured the other side of the cave with her light, trying to find the source of the sound, but with no luck. The thunks were getting closer. Then, from an opening on the opposite side of the cave, a large staff appeared, hitting the ground. It was held by a hefty hand with big, gnarly knuckles. Paula and Esme were frozen, petrified, as a figure emerged from the
Isaac Coiger, come to the office. Fucking hell. What did I do now, cunt? Move the fuck. You go tour? Let's go. You got me? Come on. You go? You go too? Bitch. I'm definitely gonna get a spell from this now. But, YOLO. They deserve it, cunt. Fucking bitch. Put my hat. Then my glasses. Let's head the fuck in. Yep, it's official. I am expelled from school. Huh. Great. Let's head home, I guess. May as well. I'm expelled from school. It's official, cunt. I'm expelled from school. should I do? Should I live with my mom and my dad? They're in a rich area of the UK, the UK city. Your son will top. Hey Dad, I got the spell from school, right? I was wondering, can you book me into, can you and Mom book me into, the rich fucking school? Sure, son. Cool, thanks. You're welcome, son. See ya. See ya. I will call you once you start. Cool, see ya. For now, let's chill here. Even though there's heaps of schools around the poor area in the UK city, still,
Most of its body
let's go to
was
rich
cloaked in
fucking
shadows,
school
but the
where my
girls could see
sisters
its
go
eyes,
and my brothers
glistening
go.
with rage.
My sexy
The crimson
sisters
stallion
and my
slammed against the
brothers
wall.
go.
The entire cave trembled. Bits of rock began to rain down. The cave dweller quickened its pace, slamming into the wall over and over. The cave was collapsing around them, and Paula and Esme were running out of time. With the ground shaking beneath them and holding their phones out with one hand, the girls kept tripping on themselves as they scrambled to make their way out of the crumbling cave. Paula continuously called out to her sister so she could follow her voice. They finally reached the sunlit opening of the cavern, and they breathlessly climbed out. The adrenaline coursing through Paula's veins pushed her to keep running. She didn't stop until she tumbled into a dip in the ground. After she caught her breath, she stood up and looked back. Marco? There was no sign of Esme. Paula sprinted back towards the cave entrance. She could not comprehend what she saw next. At the opening of the cave was now a large sign with tour times and prices. A line of snap-happy tourists wove around ropes. She was just inside that cave. Where did all these people come from? Paula approached a young woman with a name tag. Excuse me, have you seen a girl with black hair and red braces? You'll have to purchase a ticket and wait in line like everyone else. What? After waiting over an hour, Paula's group was finally led into the cave. The entrance was no longer spacious, but blocked off by large hunks of rock that had fallen. Paula's mind was racing. Where the hell was Esme? The tour guide led them to an opening in the rocks, blocked off by rope. This cave collapsed an estimated 400,000 years ago, but what makes this place so unique was this recent peculiar discovery. The bones of what might have been a teenage girl were found in this opening. The skeleton is completely intact, indicating that this girl might have been trapped when the cave collapsed and died a slow, laborious death in this ditch. Paula pushed past the other tourists and looked down into the hole. She's been dead for 400,000 years, and yet she has the structure of a Homo sapien, and on her teeth a striking similarity to red dental braces. Near her head is a rectangular object, of which archaeologists are still trying to determine its ancient function. Who was this poor girl, and how did she end up in such a horrific situation? Megan walked into her homeroom.
Oh,
first.
it's not over.
Her
Cool.
black nails, Ouija planchette necklace, and horror pin-covered backpack set her apart from her other classmates in uniform. Her friend Rachel had her back turned to her. Megan grinned, slowly crept up behind her, and let out a deep, fake growl in her ears. She jumped. Megan started laughing, but Rachel was not in the mood. God, what's with you today? They found something on Tessa's computer this morning. It's been all over the news. Tessa Rodriguez, a junior at St. Regent High, has been missing for the last 7 days. But this morning, authorities have made a discovery that might offer clues to her disappearance. This was the last website
Let's have another join.
before she went missing. It lists a set of rules to follow. According to the website, if done correctly, you will be transported to either heaven or hell, depending on where you will end up. Oh my god.
I'll be going to
Think that
hell,
actually
definitely.
works? Rachel shot her a disgusted look. The student is missing, Megan.
I don't
You
want to
clearly
go to
don't need
heaven.
ritual. You're obviously
If I go to
not
heaven,
okay.
I would get.
Well, what if
I would
this is
make
just a
myself get
setup?
kicked
Like,
out.
Whoever took her made it look
Oh,
like this
banished.
website is what got her.
Like Satan
I
himself
just
got
feel really bad
banished
for her
from
parents. Her
heaven.
brother dies, and now she's
So it'll make me got
Oh,
banished.
right.
Or
Did
get
they
kicked
ever
out of
find out how it
heaven.
happened?
I don't want to go to
He had a
heaven.
heart condition or something that just randomly acted up.
Fuck the
Bell
goody
rang. It was
two
time to head to class. Megan couldn't stop thinking about
Sure.
that website and about that ritual.
I would fuck all the good girls there and make them bad.
She pulled out her laptop and searched where heaven
But
and
after
hell
that, I'll be
exist.
kicking out.
News article after news article
I'll
popped up,
be
speculating the
making me
disappearance
kick.
of Tessa.
You know what I mean.
Megan scrolled page after page until finally she found the original website. The black background with neon green text made it look incredibly outdated and insincere. She began to read the rules. Number 1, go to an intersection in the street. It has to be 3 a.m. and you have to be completely alone. If any cars drive by, it will not work. Number 2, close your eyes and cover your face with your hands. Number 3, walk across the intersection chanting this phrase. 10, 9, 8, 7. Guide me on my way to heaven. 6, 5, 4, 3. Unless the other realms for me. 2, 1. It has begun. Number 4. Do not open your eyes until you've crossed to the other side of the street. If you have performed the ritual successfully, you will now find yourself in either heaven or hell, depending on where you will go in the future.
I might try
Don't be
it.
fooled. It will look very similar to Earth. Number 5. You must leave the realm before 5 minutes or risk being stuck. To return, you need to repeat the same process, but starting from the other side of the intersection and walking backwards. Megan closed her laptop. Her eyes fell on her wall, where the program for her cousin Beth's memorial service
I might try it actually.
was pinned. She had been found dead in her
1, 2,
after
got
an
me.
accidental
1, 2, 3,
medication.
got me to heaven.
It happened
Oh
very
no, 1,
suddenly.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Megan
Got
pulled
me
out
to
her phone,
heaven.
set her
6,
alarm
7,
to
8,
2
9,
and
and
laid
rest
in her
of
bed.
realms is for me.
Megan sat up and silenced her alarm. Slowly, she crept past her parents' room and out the door. She walked past her neighborhood park and a couple more houses down until she reached an intersection.
Yeah, let's pause it, cunt. Let's pause it. Let's go to... Hopefully no cars will come. Let's go do it, come. Let's try it. Yellow, white. Fucking hell, there's cars here. I have to find somewhere where there's no cars right now. Yeah, this is it here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Guide me away to heaven. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The rest of the realm is for me. It did not work. It's still here. Okay, fair enough. It did not work. She did say don't be fooled. It looks similar to Earth, but until I find proof it worked, nah, I'm not gonna, until I see an angel, a demon, or whatever the fuck they have here in heaven or hell. Right now, live proof, you know what I mean? Right now, I believe it did not fucking work. So, yeah, right now, right now, I don't believe it fucking worked. Let's head to bed. What you doing in my place? What you mean? This is my place. This is my house. So get the fuck out. No, it's my place. So this is my place. I live here, okay? I fucking live here. This is my crib. No, it's mine. Do you know where you are right now? You're in heaven. Sure, I am. There's demons and angels and stuff. There is no demon or angels. So you're telling me I'm in supposedly heaven? Yeah, pretty much. Well, I did do this challenge where you start from... Yeah, I heard about that challenge.
What in the world?
Okay. That's how we visit the human world. Well, since this is your house in Earth, you can sleep in the spare bedroom while I sleep in my room. Got it. This is like my room on Earth. Okay, good night then. Good night. Okay, today is Saturday. Let's head out. Let's chill here, buddy. Okay, press play and smoke, buddy.
She looked up and down the street to make sure there were no cars and no people. She set a timer on her phone for 4 minutes. When she felt it was safe, she covered her eyes and began to walk and chant. 10, 9, 8, 7, guide me on my way to heaven. 6, 5, 4, 3, unless the other realms for me. 2, 1, it has begun. She was still in her neighborhood. Everything looked the same. She let out a deep sigh of disappointment and began to walk back to her house. As she passed the park, she heard voices coming from the swing set. A pair of twins she hadn't noticed before were laughing loudly now. She continued to walk. "Hi, neighbor!" A man walking his dog across the street called out to her. Megan waved politely and began to quicken her pace. She entered her house and caught her breath. She walked to her kitchen to grab a glass of water. She flipped on the light and stopped. Someone was sitting at the dining table, crying. Megan turned to see who it was. At the table was Beth, the cousin she buried weeks ago. Megan couldn't believe it. The ritual had worked. Beth, I can't believe you're here. I have so many things I need to ask. How did you end up here? I found out about this ritual and I wanted to try it to see if I could see you and Brady, he died from a heart condition. See, it wasn't our fault. We didn't do anything. Why are you telling me this? I thought you would want to know. You were so worried that something was going to happen to us, or people would think that. Think what? That we killed him? We didn't kill anyone. His heart killed him. You were my favorite cousin, Max. I was willing to do whatever you wanted. But you took it too far that night. And I couldn't live with the guilt. It was a harmless prank. You're still going to deny it? Even now that you're here? You really are unbelievable. I'm not really dead. Wait. Where am I? Footsteps and voices calling her name began to flood the house. Megan ran to the living room and frantically tried to open the window. The voices were getting closer. She managed to slide the window open and pop out the screen. She threw herself out onto the front yard and rolled onto the grass. Once she got back on her feet, she ran towards the intersection where she came from. Her mind was racing as she tried to remember what the rules were for returning back home. She passed the park, now filled with children, all making a beeline towards her. Her chest hurt, her legs begged for rest, but she didn't stop until she reached that intersection. She started on the opposite side as before and walked backwards across the street. But when she reached the other end, she felt dozens of hands grab her all over her body and pull her to the ground. Another student from St. Regent High has been reported missing. The disappearance of junior Megan Redwood makes this the second mysterious disappearance from this school. Authorities are looking into the situation, and if anyone has any information on Megan's whereabouts, please notify the police.
For thousands of years, the bond between my children and I was perfect. Now, a dark presence threatens to destroy the Amazon. A young girl holds the power to change even the darkest heart.
I'm Imo of Kadama, greatest hunter in the whole Amazon!
Bimbo, you are a very special person. You were called by the spirits.
Hello.
Where's your spirit guide?
You have to save the village.
We need to be strong. We have to stop them.
Save Kadama.
It is time for us to be brave.
So beautiful! But hello, Mama! The jungle needs you!
No, Rainbow. You are the home. You just need to believe in yourself.
For Priyasha's last day before moving out of the country, she wanted to go scuba diving with her best friend, Sharanya. Priyasha was very experienced, but Sharanya was pretty terrified. Rightfully so, since she hadn't finished her training yet. Priyasha assured her that she would be by her side the entire time. She even knew of a spot that would let her dive without her completed certification, because she knew the owner. As Sharanya suited up, she couldn't help but notice how janky their underwater radio and equipment looked. But she didn't want to offend Priyasha or the owner. Then, Sharanya kept overhearing this strange word from the other divers, and her nerves continued to heighten. Hey, what's a bok? Is that something I need? Relax, you're safe with me. Everything is going to be fine. I'm really gonna miss you, Bree. Seriously, no one could ever replace you. They boarded the boat and headed out into the water. The boat came to a slow stop. The divers climbed over the side and submerged themselves into the ocean. Every worry Sharanya had floated away as she soaked in the beautiful sights of coral and fish. Priyasha signed, "Told you so." They heard the faded crackle of the boat driver's voice from the radio, which meant it was almost time to return to the boat. That's when a strong current suddenly shoved Sharanya and Priyasha several feet. Maybe more, it's impossible to tell underwater. Priyasha signed to Sharanya to relax and go with the current until it calmed. But the current didn't calm. In fact, it only got stronger as the young women were tossed even further away from the boat, the voice on the radio getting fainter and fainter. When the water finally settled, they found themselves encased in darkness. Their headlamps, the only source of light. Priyasha checked her compass. The needle was spinning out of control. That never happened before. She checked their oxygen. They only had about 5 minutes left of air. They hadn't been in the water that long. How was that possible? Sharanya began to panic. And then realizing she was using up even more air made her panic even more. Priyasha put her hand on her shoulder, motioning for her to steady her breathing, slowly in and out. As Sharanya finally relaxed, the two friends embraced. As they pulled apart, Sharanya's head began to flicker, as did Priyasha's. As the light came in and out, Sharanya spotted something swimming towards them. They began to wave frantically, thinking it was another diver who could help them find their way back. As the figure got closer, they realized that's not what it was. There was no sign of Priyasha anywhere. Hello? Hello? Can anyone hear me? Sharanya pressed the signal button to let them know she was within range. Swim up. Sharanya fought her fatigued arms and legs and pushed harder than she'd ever pushed in her life until she could see the bottom of the boat. The other divers helped pull her aboard. Priyasha, she's still down there. I think something took her. Hey, it's okay. She's all right. She's right here. Oh my God, what the hell happened? How'd you get up here before me? What was that thing? Relax. You're safe with me. Everything is going to be fine. All right, we've got everyone. Let's go. The boat driver started the engine and they all made their way back to shore. Sharanya was bewildered upon seeing just how far out they had been thrown. Glad that the worst of it was over, she sat next to Priyasha and rested her head on her shoulder. The boat slowed down. Sharanya looked up to see what was going on. Something had floated into their path. As they got closer, Sharanya's heart sank right back into the ocean. There was Priyasha's lifeless body floating towards them. Sharanya turned to what she had thought was her friend. It's a Bak! A Bak is a demon in Indian folklore that is believed to lurk near bodies of water. After it lures you into the water and takes your life, it will then take on your appearance so that it can travel onto land and continue to kill. So pay close attention to your family or friends who have come back from a trip near water. They may not be who they say they are. Today's story.
This is great.
Hey, this story is just one part of the Salam Volume 3, Filipino Folklore. Trying ordeal, but it's all just in your head. Or Volume 3, Filipino Folklore. Hi, Oddings. Welcome to Stories with Sapphire. I'm you're at the Sapphire. Have you ever experienced sleep paralysis? When your mind is awake, but your body is still asleep, and you're frozen in place. It can be a truly horrifying ordeal, but it's all just in your head. Or is it? For Ryan and Nate, a real nightmare awaits. And now, it's story time. It was Ryan and Nate's first time camping at Anawangin Cove. With no electricity or cell reception, it was the perfect place to unplug and reconnect with nature after their hectic work week. Ryan had been particularly stressed lately, to the point of having frequent nightmares and episodes of sleep paralysis, and Nate wanted to help him relax. The cove was a pretty busy tourist spot, but luckily, they were able to find a spot that at least felt somewhat isolated. Ryan chopped down some very short trees for firewood just as the sun went down. They built a fire, laid out some blankets, and cracked open some beers. Nate had already reached weekend mode. Ryan was far behind. Ryan, take a deep breath, be in the moment. Worrying about the budget right now isn't going to change anything. Yeah, I know. It's just really hard for me to disconnect. That's why we need to do this more often. The two friends clinked their bottles and cheered to a relaxing weekend. 2 beers turned into 4, which eventually turned into 10. Ryan and Nate were now completely passed out on the forest floor, head to head. Sometime in the middle of the night, Ryan awoke with a gasp. He felt like he was suffocating. He tried to move his arms and legs, but they felt like concrete. Fortunately, this was...
Let's pause it. Head to bed. Tomorrow is Saturday, I think. I don't know. Tomorrow is... yeah, Saturday. Let's head to bed. Seven in the morning. Oh crap! On Monday, I need to get back to my world. Fuck. Fuck. I need to get back to Earth. Hopefully my body's not dead. You know what I mean? Hopefully. Please. Okay, I need to do it on the opposite side. Let's go to the opposite side. What was it? 1, 2, 3. Guide me back to Earth, I think? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, guide me back to Earth. Okay, here we are. Close my eyes now. 1, 2, 3. Guide me back to Earth. Did it work or... Let's see. Let's see if it worked. Let's call up. Sean, where have you been? Oh, okay, I am back. Good. Yeah, I did this. It's Monday, son. You're supposed to be at school. Where were you? Yeah, I did this challenge where I went to heaven. Sure you did, Sean. It's true. Well, did you see my nan? Your nan? AKA my mum? Yeah, I did. Did she recognize you? No, she didn't. And I didn't recognize her at first. Okay. Well, you did go to heaven. Yep, so I'm back. I'm going to school tomorrow. Like, since I just got... Yeah, okay. See, son. See, dad. Let's have all night nap. I'm tired. I am fucking tired. Let's head to bed, dude. 5 in the morning. Let's head to school now. Oh. So, yeah. We're at to catch a bus and head to the witch area of high school. And tell the bus driver where I want to go in the witch area. In the UK city. Here we are at the high school. In the witch area. Let's chill. Where should I chill, basically?
I got stuck in brutal high traffic for an hour and stuff yesterday, yeah.
Let's chill under here, basically. Yeah, let's chill here, dude.
I wanted to fucking shoot the fucking worker about those.
Let's press play. Smoke, I guess.
Wasn't the first time he'd experienced this. This is just a dream, a stress-induced nightmare. Ryan tried to reassure himself. Just try to wake yourself up. As Ryan lay there, he directed all his focus on moving his head. Just an inch would be enough. But it would not budge. You're not in any real danger. This will all pass. He could hear his breath getting shallower and shallower as the pressure on his chest increased. And that's when he heard it. The breath of someone else. Although he wasn't able to move his eyes, he shifted his focus downward toward his chest. In his peripheral vision, he could vaguely make out what appeared to be a bald, 300-pound figure sitting on his chest. That had never happened during one of these dreams before. Ryan tried to call out to Nate, but his jaw was frozen shut. The figure now leaned over, coming into Ryan's full view. This isn't real, it's just a nightmare. Ryan repeated over and over in his head. Then, he heard the sound of footsteps approaching. Finally, Ryan thought, Nate had woken up and was going to help him. But the footsteps walked over to the pile of wood. Ryan heard the clink of metal, and the footsteps walked back to his feet. There was a moment of silence, and then the axe slammed into his ankle. Again and again, the pain felt so unbearably real. But there was nothing Ryan could do but lay there until the nightmare ended. The next morning, Nate awoke, head pounding from his hangover. The fire pit was still roaring. He could have sworn that the fire had died before they passed out. He saw that Ryan was awake as well. So, please tell me you were finally able to disconnect and get some good sleep. Ryan? Nate shook Ryan's shoulder. Ryan's eyes were wide open, but he wasn't moving. Nate stood up in a panic and saw why. With fear-filled eyes, he looked back at the fire. There, in the pit, were Ryan's missing limbs. the Philippines, there is a large and malevolent spirit called the Banyunyot. It lives in the trees, and if you chop down its home, it will seek revenge. It will wait until you've fallen into a deep sleep, usually after a heavy meal or lots of alcohol, and sit on your chest and suffocate you to death. And there's a reason why this story is so popular, because young people, more frequently men of Southeast Asian descent, have been dying of sudden, unexplained nocturnal death syndrome, also referred to as banyunyot, which is also the Tagalog word for nightmare. In the